Makes all of your meals, go ahead and click off this video. I absolutely hate when I see a giant jacked gym bro and you ask them what they eat and they just say, whatever mom makes. Now, am I jealous? Yes. And if your mom does make all of your meals, tell her you love her for me, okay? Anyways, for the rest of us adults in the room, I have 2 ways for you to diet effectively to reach your goals, and a mystery 3rd way that's like cheating. Jesse, I'm a certified personal trainer, and I train people and I get them nice and lean and jacked. Anyways, so the first way is, you guessed it, meal prepping. But Jesse, it takes too much time to meal prep. Well, actually, you're wrong. I know I can't just say meal prep and send you on your way. That's not very helpful. So instead, I'll show you how I do it rather quickly. The example I'm going to use is a burrito bowl. That's kind of my go-to. If you're eating chicken, broccoli, and rice, you should stop that. You should really stop that. That shit is disgusting. Now, you do want to use every single cook surface you have at your disposal. Like, if you have multiple pots and pans, you're going to want to use all of them, so one can cook the beans, one can cook the rice, one can cook the beef. Once you meal prep for a few weeks and you get pretty good at it, you'll be able to meal prep for the entire week for about 90 to 120 minutes of cooking time, and that also includes the cleanup. Dishes done, you're done in 2 hours or less. Go ahead and show you my setup and my example right now and show you exactly how I do it. I'll even time it. I'll let you guys know if it takes about 2 hours, if I was lying out of my ass. But yeah, we can go ahead and get that done. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey, mine's up here, okay? Alright, it's 10:16. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So by noon 16 is how long I have to cook all these meals. Look, I have nothing pre-prepped. Nothing's pre-prepped. Alright, we're only about 15 minutes in. We got the bean base going and the beef going. It's about 4 pounds of beef. And we got our rice going. Not a whole lot of rice, but anyways. I also want to take you over here. I'm preparing 6 meals. You might be wondering, why only 6? Why not 7? There's 7 days in a week. Well, I saved that last day in order to go on a date with your mom every week. Unfortunately, I did it in under an hour. And that's all the food being cooked and everything cleaned up, the dishes done, and the meals prepared. Everything's clean, everything's put away in under an hour. So you do have the time to meal prep. You absolutely have the time to meal prep. The longer you take, the better it's probably going to taste. Like if you're adding like sauteed veggies and things like that. That will work depending on how much time you have. But if you have no time at all and you're just using canned beans, pre-made rice, and beef, like you're going to get this done in like 30 minutes. But, you know, the longer it takes, the more you want to add to it, the less you want to suffer. That's just, you know, you kind of have to figure out that time investment for yourself. The reason this works is because you are eating the same thing every single day, which is very boring and mundane, but hey, we got goals to reach. I'll get to the other ways in a second. But if you're eating measured out meals every single day, you know exactly what you're gonna eat. You eat the same thing every single day. You only measure it once. It's the most time-saving method and probably the most accurate method in adherence to your goals. The way is to download a calorie counting app, which are very annoying and stupid, which is why I don't use them, but they work for the people who have subtle taste and they want notes of chicken and notes of beef every single day. If you don't like eating the same thing every day, a calorie counting app is absolutely perfect for you. It's just a little annoying to just whip out the calorie counting app and calculate everything you do and eat before every single meal. And you do have to do that because once you hit your macros and your goals, you just kind of have to stop eating. Or if you're bulking, you can go ahead and just keep eating until you hit your goals. Note is that these apps are pretty clunky and blocked by a bunch of paywalls. If you're balling on a budget, you can go ahead and get everything you pretty much need with the free versions, which is just track calories, keep track of certain macros, and that's pretty much all you're going to need to hit your goals. A million different counting apps, and they're all pretty much built the same, and they pretty much have the same user interface. There's no real differences. There's really no wrong answer, except for AI calorie counting apps. They're not as accurate for a multitude of reasons, but a few of them being you can't see how lean the beef is. You just can't. And your meat at a different angle can make it look bigger. Moving on. The hard truth is that you have to keep track of your calories in order to reach your goals. You either A, eat the same thing every day, or B, track everything with an app. Third mystery secret, and the easiest by far, is meal prep services like Factor. The big problem with those is that they're relatively expensive than just creating it on your own, but they do save you quite a bit of time. What makes these so beneficial is because they're just like meal preps, so they're fairly easy to track your calories. You know exactly what you're getting at the time you're eating. But another problem I see with these is that I haven't really found one that's for bulking. Like a lot of the times the meals are like 400 to 600 calories with 30 to 40 grams of protein, which is fantastic, but anybody knows that if you're bulking, you need that to be like 1200 calories and 80 grams of protein. And as a gym bro, we need that to cost like $3 or less, which just doesn't exist. But if you are trying to lose weight, manage proportions, and you have an extreme amount of dough, I think getting a meal prep service is probably the best option for you. For any gym bros out there, let me know down below if there's anything that does use any meal prep service apps that do have bulking meals. I'd love to see those. I'd love to give those a go because anything I see is just not going to cut it for a bulk. We looked at a few ways to diet effectively, and I showed you the way I do it. Again, meal prep is great. Calorie tracking is very annoying, but if you like eating this different things every day, go ahead and use the calorie counting apps. And then the third way, if you have a lot of money and no time, go ahead and use the meal prep service apps. But again, you have to track your calories. That's the only way you're going to get this done. That's the only way you're going to hit your goals, but I know you can do it. And we'll see ya.